Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. I wanted to give you an update on the General Flynn interviews that we have here on the program. We were honored, blessed, and humbled that General Flynn chose this program to appear. He hasn't been on many programs since the election, and he decided to come here. We're grateful for that to the General. General Flynn, thank you. He will be back, ladies and gentlemen, right here on March 2nd in the second installment of our interview series. We're going to do one of these each month, and we hope that you tune in and watch. So mark your calendars for March 2nd. We will record a show in the morning, and it should drop on YouTube later that afternoon, early evening. So stay tuned. Keep in touch. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you are in the United States or around the world. Cheers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of The Right Side with Doug Billings. Thanks for watching the program. Before we begin today's show, I want to remind you again to check out thecommandersartist.com. The Commander's Artist got his start working for the president and later became, as a result of that relationship, a very good friend of General Mike Flynn, who is on this program and will be again. But thecommandersartist.com, the Commander's Artist himself creates incredible patriotic artwork. You're going to want to check out his website. It's been revamped, and he's a friend of the program. He's designed the logos for this show. I've got a piece of his art hanging behind me on the wall, and you're going to like what you see. Check him out, thecommandersartist.com, and when you go to check out, enter the promotion code or the coupon code DOUG, D-O-U-G. That's me, and you'll get a little discount there. Not a little one. You'll get a pretty good discount from the Commander's Artist. International shipping is available. This guy's phenomenal. Take a look at what I'm showing you here on the screen. Thecommandersartist.com, a personal friend of General Mike Flynn's and a friend of this program. Check him out. Cheers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. I'm grateful, honored, and blessed that you're joining us and watching the program today. Thank you very much indeed. And if you're listening to the program, you are on one of the many podcast platforms around the planet. We are on almost all of those podcast platforms. So if you prefer the audio version and listen to the wonder, the glory, the splendor, the majesty of this program while you're driving in your vehicle, flying on a plane, or wherever you are, check out The Right Side with Doug Billings on your favorite podcast platform. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and click that little red notification button so that you get notified when new shows drop. And we would appreciate that as well. You are a blessing. We are truly now a worldwide program. The support that we get from around the world is appreciated. It's an honor. It's a blessing. And so we always approach each show clearly with the American and United States political agenda in the forefront, but understanding that what happens here affects the world. And so I never take for granted the fact that there are people around the world watching this program. We've been ranked as high as number 5, currently number 7 in the news commentary genre in the United States as far as podcasts go. And around the globe in many countries, we are in the top 10. And so it's phenomenal. It's a prayer answered. It's a blessing. And I think it goes to show that you, good people in the audience, the intellectually mature, conservative audience that we have, is among the best audience in all of podcasting. And I don't want you to think for one second that your support goes unnoticed. And let's continue to hold each other in prayer and in good thought, in mind and deed as we go forward. Today, please be aware that there is hope in the world. And be aware that we are hopeful that we can continue this conservative message. We are determined to do that. We have a GoFundMe page. If you want to be a sponsor of the program, we would be honored and blessed if you would consider being a sponsor on a monthly, weekly basis. Okay, so the world today and the situation in which we find ourselves, almost everybody will be talking about the sham impeachment and the constitutionality or the lack thereof, the lack of constitutional authority to impeach, quote unquote, a citizen rather than a president of the United States. So they are catastrophically afraid of President Trump, and I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to watch some of the impeachment trial later today, and I'll have comments and opinions about that as the week progresses on here. But I thought that it would be a good idea today to talk about hope in all of this. Now, this program, based in conservative thought, conservative principles and ideologies, we always acknowledge God and his divine providence and role in our lives. And we sometimes tend to get a little depressed and down in the dumps about the current state of affairs. So my main point for today is hope. I want to not only give you a sense of it, but I want to also point out that what we face in today's America and the world is the product of what we see from the commu-socialist side. The commu-socialist side is clearly a blend of communism and socialism. You've noticed if you watch this program long enough, I don't even refer to them as Democrats because they don't exist. The Democratic Party in America, at least, is gone. What we are left with now is the commu-socialist party, and they are clearly not an American political party. They can't be because all they want to do is deconstruct and burn America. But I want to point out today and give you hope by reminding you that their side, the left side, the commu-socialist side, is intellectually immature. And through their intellectual immaturity of the liberals, we can see hope. For example, shutting the Keystone Pipeline. With a stroke of a pen and a signature on an executive order, Administrator Biden shuts off a pipeline. The intellectual immaturity of it is that it serves no beneficial purpose. There is no beneficial purpose to shutting down the Keystone Pipeline in reality. Now, in their minds, they think they're saving the environment. But in reality, what it's done is it's killed thousands and thousands of jobs. Another piece of intellectual immaturity is the reversal of the Trump tax cuts. More intellectual immaturity with the reversal of the prohibition of funding for abortions on American foreign, in American facilities, hospitals, and so forth that are in foreign countries. Another piece of evidence about intellectual immaturity is Administrator Biden's own insurrection against the American people with regards to his attack on the economy, jobs, and so forth, livelihoods of Americans. But let me go back to the Keystone Pipeline and illustrate the intellectual immaturity of the approach. First of all, factually, pipelines are a safer transportation mechanism of oil, natural gas, etc., than are trains or trucks or any other method of transportation. So to shut it down is illogical. The pipeline provided for energy independence for the United States, and by the way, provided incredible energy assistance to our friendly and good neighbors north in Canada. So not only have we now begun to become dependent again on foreign sources of energy, Administrator Biden has struck a blow to our neighbors in Canada. No sense. Intellectual immaturity. Almost 12,000 jobs gone from that pipeline construction. Wiped out. And for all of you union members who supported Administrator Biden, and I know that you're in the minority of all union membership, most union members supported President Trump. You see, President Trump was successful in turning the Republican Party into the working man and women's party, among other things. But the union jobs lost by Administrator Biden, and for all of you union members that supported Administrator Biden's campaign, thanks. Thanks for the love that you've shown to your union brothers and sisters. More examples. I mentioned the tax cuts. Eliminating the tax cuts and the burdensome bureaucracy and regulations that plagued America for decades, maybe even a century. You know, to do the simple repair work to our infrastructure takes an act of God almost to get anything done. Failing to fight the teachers' unions appropriately has been a point of intellectual immaturity on part of Administrator Biden's team. Look, the teachers' unions in this country have lost their way. And if you think that they have the best interests of their teachers and students at heart, you're not thinking clearly. These unions are responsible, ladies and gentlemen, for the theft of young people's hopes and dreams on a scale that has never been seen before, and led, by the way, to drastic increases in suicides, drug overdoses, depression, anxiety among high school kids, college kids, grade school kids, wondering whether or not they'll be able to compete for athletic scholarships, academic scholarships, theater scholarships, whatever, because they haven't been allowed to go back to school where their demographic, is generally unaffected. That doesn't mean that they don't get it, but they're generally unaffected by this China virus. So the unions have no concern, in my view, about well-being of children in this regard. Otherwise, they'd be pushing hard to get them back into the classroom, in-person learning, regular schedules, and so forth. But it's not about the health of the kids. It's about politics, and we all know it. So Administrator Biden also says that now he's not going to deport illegal immigrants who commit violent crimes. Just another example of the intellectual immaturity of the Communist Socialist Party and where we will see hope. I'm going to get there in just a moment. So what he's doing, Administrator Biden, you notice I don't refer to him as President Biden, and there's a reason for that. I'm sure you all know. But anyway, Administrator Biden, you're putting Americans last, sir, when you refuse to deport criminal, illegal immigrants. And by the way, by the very definition of illegal immigrants, they're already breaking the law. They're not here legally. You're putting Americans last and putting us at risk. The Communist Socialist Party will claim to you, ladies and gentlemen, they'll claim that this is humane, this is human rights, this is social justice. Right. Whenever you hear the term social justice, run. Because what it is social atrocity. Social justice, in their view and their definition of it, is not justice at all. Ask any American citizen who's had a child or any member of their family brutally murdered by someone who's not legally here. It's infuriating. But we on the right side know that it is humane, actually, to get these people out. It's humane to the citizens, the legal citizens of this republic. You see, when Administrator Biden is making America more dangerous, crime is encouraged both by illegal crossings into the country and also by giving the impression that crime and justice just isn't a priority with the Communist Socialist Party in general. And we have to keep it in perspective. They of course, will welcome all of these people to come in, free people from prison. Remember, it was Kamala Harris herself that started a fund on the internet somewhere that paid for the release of captured anarchists, felons, last summer so that they could go out and continue the carnage. You see, these are members of the electoral base of the Communist Socialist Party. And I could go on and on about that, but where is the hope, you're asking? Doug, you said you're going to talk about hope. You're depressing me. All of these stories about crime and illegal aliens and the administration of Administrator Biden. Well, hope resides, ladies and gentlemen, in the fact that through all of these intellectually immature decisions and actions that Administrator Biden is taking, he's actually waking up millions of people, not only in America, but around the world. Citizens of the world are waking up to his utter incompetence and the dangers of the Communist Socialist Party. And you all have Communist Socialist Party members around the world. You don't have to be just in America to have people who are in the political game who are now a blend and a mix of communism and socialism. They're everywhere. So patriots around the world, I understand why you've identified with this program, because it's a worldwide issue. And I'm aware of that. But now the Communist Socialist Party in America and those like President Obama, Obama pulling the strings behind the scenes. President Obama is pulling the strings behind the scenes. You know, these people don't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, when they tell you that they pursue, they desire, they crave power. They very rarely lie to you when they're talking about that. And we heard President Biden himself, I believe it was on a 60 Minutes interview, where he said he would much fancy the idea of being able to sip a cup of coffee on the morning on the east patio of his New Hampton residence, or perhaps an evening cocktail on the patio in that sprawling New Hampton estate, as he whispers into a microphone that's connected to the ear of the current administrator. And thereby, President Obama hoped and dreamt and thought that he would have his third term as a president. And lo and behold, so he has. So he has achieved his third term. Obama's pulling the strings here. He's exactly who's pulling the strings behind Administrator Biden's regime. He's proving that all of us who believe that America and the conservative movement around the world will now have to face what they are going to thrust upon us. Remember, it's the conservatives who believe that when we want to improve society, we first focus on the individual, making ourselves better as individuals. Therefore, society improves. Becoming the best version of ourselves enables the society to become the best version of itself. But the Communist Socialist Party believes that the best and only way to improve society is to thrust their politics upon us. And so we may, truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, we may, if we're honest with ourselves, have to face a time of testing here and a time of turmoil and trial. I think in very real terms, America and the world has turned away from the tenets of God, and this may be a test. This may be God saying, you need to turn back to me. You need to come back. I'm the guy that founded your republic. It was my divine providence who worked its way through the founding fathers. But your society has turned its back on me. And so maybe he's waking us up to the fact that we need to wake up and turn back to him. Look, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, if we honestly self-evaluate our society, we would have to conclude that we've become complacent in our faith, complacent in our conservatism. Not all of us. Now, I'm not saying all of you, but I think in general, in terms of our society, we have. And in conservatism, we've all, it's become complacent, and we've lost some of the edge and the advantage in society. We've pinned, for example, all of our hopes on one man, as if he could single-handedly come in and be the one to save us all, right? Save us by draining the swamp all by himself. Save us by exposing and eliminating every corrupt politician, the rhinos, the globalists, the members of the deep state, all by himself. That he would come in and make us sure that every court decision would go our way, the conservative way. You see where I'm going here? Look, I love President Trump. I love him just as much as you do. But President Trump alone can't fix the situation, nor should he be expected to. We are the patriots. We are the patriots who have to do the hard work of what I have called time and time again, determined patriotism. We are the people of we the people, right? Who the American founders trusted and expected to fix, to control, and to eliminate corruption in government. It's up to us. The founders never said, you, Mr. President, shall fix our problems. The founders never said the executive branch, yes, the executive branch shall rescue the people from tyranny. They didn't say that, nor did they expect it. They expected and they demanded, in fact, that we, the people, fix the problems of a corrupt government or the vileness of a tyranny. It's up to us. It's not up to the military. It's not up to the president. It's not up to anybody but us, we the people. So many people out there are feeling helpless and frustrated. And I get it. And I can go along with a period of mourning a period of sadness, the time of mourning. It's like it, because it is almost like a death, this whole feeling of the loss of President Trump and where is he and we need him and our republic is being turned into a communist and socialist country. And a period of mourning. For a month or so, I can go along with it after the apparent inauguration of Administrator Biden. But I'm going to suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that time of mourning is over. It's time to engage finally in determined patriotism. For the love of God, for the love of family, for the love of our republic, we've got to snap out of this deflated, depressed, and you know what, really, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it's just darn right lazy, this mood that we're in. When I hear someone complain that, well, I'm never going to vote again, I'm reminded of two things. Number one, I have said on this program, and you can go back and look, they're all on YouTube, since November at least of 2020, if not before, the number one priority of the conservative movement, not only in America, but around the world, is to fix broken and fraudulent election systems. Nothing more to say about that. It's obvious. It has got to be our number one priority to fix broken and fraudulent election systems. No doubt about it. And by the way, kudos and cheers to Mike Lindell out there for the extraordinary documentary that he put together. And number two, when I hear, every politician is crooked, there is no hope, America's done for, why can't they fix this? Or there's never going to be another trusted election again, ever. So, okay, those comments have two things in common that I just don't have patience for. And I know that I've begged you all to give yourself permission to have patience with this entire situation in which we find ourselves. But I don't have patience for the use of absolutes. Words like never or every. It's a rare sentence that can be intellectually mature that uses absolutes like that. To say there will never be a fair election again. It's simply intellectually immature to think that. There can be fair elections again, in fact. The question is, are you going to engage in the hard work of determined patriotism to make sure that election systems are fixed? That's the question. Oh, but Doug, the problem is too big. It's too big for us. It's out of our control. There's no way we can do it. Another absolute statement. You see, we can change things, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who would say such things, all I can do is gently remind you. I gently remind you to walk in off the ledge of utter and complete BS. Your shoes are getting dirty. You're standing in BS. Come in off the ledge and back into the room of rational, intellectual, mature thought. Please. It's not a condemnation. I'm not making fun of you. I'm trying to help you. Snap out of that way, that negative way of thinking. The other thing that those statements of hopelessness have at their core, in my opinion, is laziness. We can't change it ourselves, Doug. It's hopeless. Why didn't President Trump fix this when he was in office? If Trump couldn't drain the swamp, then nobody can. We need the military to go in there and fix it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, all of those statements equal laziness, in my view. Depending on somebody else to do the hard work of determined patriotism. Really? Come on now. And I'm not condemning anybody for being tempted to go there, but I am purposefully, and I hope with some amount of passion, trying to convince you to snap out of that way of thinking. Remember the founders. Remember everything that they had to endure. They didn't intend for anyone but us, we the people, to fix our situations and to repel a tyrannical government. And we will, ladies and gentlemen, we will. But it won't happen overnight. And it's not going to magically happen on March 4th. There's no quick fix to any of this. So give yourselves permission, please, to have patience and work with determined patriotism, which is the hard work of it all. You know, General Michael Flynn was on this program last week. We were lucky to have him, and he has agreed to come on the show on a monthly basis. I don't know of anybody else any other show where that will happen, at least not yet. He'll be back on the show March 2nd, so make sure you mark your calendars and subscribe to this channel. But he was right when he gave us good advice when he was on the show last week, and others, including Lynn Wood and other people out there, picked up on it. And Lynn Wood echoed the advice that General Flynn gave us, which is get involved. Get involved, ladies and gentlemen, at your local levels. Work to get true patriotic conservatives elected to your state and county legislatures, to the mayorship of your city or town, to the governorship of your state, to your school boards, to your local county commissioner. The county commissioners, you know, that's where the power, in fact, state legislatures hold the power to all elections in the United States. Focus there. Get involved there. That's good advice from the general. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if when you hear me reiterate all of that, what the general said, what Lynn Wood said, what Mike Lindell is saying, and if you're tempted to say, but Doug, that's going to take too long. Our republic is going to be ruined and destroyed by the time that we have time to engage in the local level and make changes and get people elected. Let me gently remind you, no, it won't. Our republic will not be destroyed. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be destroyed. To say something that our republic will never be destroyed, A, that's a vain statement, and B, that's not a humble statement. Our republics can be destroyed, absolutely. But our republic is not going to be destroyed as a result of what we're experiencing right now. I can promise you that. With respect, if you're thinking that our republic has been destroyed or will be destroyed as a result of this nightmare that we find ourselves in now, no, it won't. Our republic is a strong one, and you around the world need to know that we are strong. We're not in danger of going away. We're in danger of being sidetracked right now. We're in danger of the minority political opinion, which is that of the Communist Socialist Party, appearing as if it's the majority, but it's not. What they do really well is get loud, and they get nasty, and they get violent. We saw it all last year in America when they burned their own cities that are run and led by members of the Communist Socialist Party. But they are not the majority in America. Believe that as well. Our republic is not in total decline. It's not in total disarray. We're in a rough patch, and we're in a test. And it's not pleasant for those of us on the right side, but you've got to give yourself permission to believe that as well. It was God himself who founded the American Republic, and he used the framers to do the human work of it all. The republic wasn't founded overnight. It's not going to be destroyed overnight, and we're going to wake up from this current nightmare, but it's not going to be waking up overnight and finding it all fixed. Determined patriotism is the work of years, not days, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy. And you know what? It should not be easy. Think about that. Working hard for something, having a passion and a vision for something, having that vision and passion come true as a result of your hard work, seeing the results of our labor, seeing the results of our patriotism. That's why patriotism in general is so sweet and so desirable. Doing the hard work of it all, ladies and gentlemen, strengthens the very dignity of our human nature. I believe that in my soul. Getting things for free, getting things the easy way, taking the easy path, that's the belief of the Communist Socialists. That's why communist-socialists are snowflakes, because they can't handle adversities. They can't handle challenges or tragedies without having a complete mental meltdown. And giving them things for free, avoiding the hard work of it all, they speak as if that's what everybody wants, and we'll be a better society if we can just give things for free. That's Satan speaking, ladies and gentlemen, because he knows that when we get things for free, we don't appreciate them, and getting things for free robs human beings of their human dignity. There's no dignity sitting at home and getting a check for $1,200 from the government. There is no dignity in that. Now, there will always be people who genuinely need help. And we on the right side have that kind of compassion. We also demand that everyone does his or her fair share. And we don't give things for free. There must be effort. There must be work. That's the natural law of things. You know, life's not easy, right? But when we meet challenges and adversities and we conquer them, human dignity increases. People always say, well, give me an example. I don't know how to get involved at the local level. What am I supposed to do? So I found one. I found an incredible example. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to post some information in this program, but also in the description section of the program. An incredible, and it's a specific example of how people are getting involved at the local level. And I want to share it with you. It's happening in Kansas. There's a group of patriots who have formed a group called United Voices of Kansas. And they have a mission statement. I'd like to read it to you. United Voices of Kansas. The purpose is to unite individuals, businesses, groups, and organizations to create one organized and focused voice in support of our Kansas elected leaders. We use this one voice to provide reassurance from residents in their districts of support in legislation to protect Kansans' freedom. They have a motto. Individually we speak, united we are heard. Now listen to what they say in this group, and I'm going to read this paragraph to you, so bear with me. I don't have this memorized. I'm going to read it to you. United Voices of Kansas, one of our goals is to open up Kansas. Imagine that, opening up a state to business, right? Ridding themselves of tyranny. All right, I'll continue with what they say. We saw a need for organization when business owners were having undue burden put upon them to manage public health, being shut down, and faced with oppressive restrictions. We also saw Facebook groups who wanted kids in sports or in school, in-person learning, and even maskless shopping, etc. Our organization seeks to unite these groups by creating a petition our citizens sign to empower our legislators to vote to free Kansans from oppressive restrictions. When Kansans sign this petition, they're saying they want personal liberty returned and freedom to choose what's best for their family and their businesses. After all, we are the land of the free, right? We're starting to map the constituents so we can tell each legislature the number of people in your district want you to restore and preserve freedoms. For as much pressure as they're under to vote how others want, why not tell them, they continue, what their constituents want and remind them who they work for. We have a petition you can read. It's called The Mandate. It's on our website. And ladies and gentlemen, look at this website for a template of how to get involved. It's www.unitedvoiceskansas.org. I'll put it on the screen for you. If you're a patriot who wants to get involved, who's looking for specific examples of what General Flynn and myself were talking about, how to get involved in your community, and if you need advice to make a template for your own local community, go to this website and contact these people. The two folks that head up this group and their contacts, one is Laura Klingensmith, and spelled Klingensmith, Laura. And her email address is laura@unitedvoiceskansas.org. And then there's Melissa Campbell, and her email is melissa@unitedvoiceskansas.org. Ladies and gentlemen, this is brilliant what they're doing. It's exactly what determined patriotism looks like. The initiative to start a group like this, a movement like this is what determined patriotism looks like. It's what it sounds like. It's what it strives to do. This group of Kansans, they get it. They're awake. And I encourage you to go look and check out what they're doing. And in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you that it may look like the communist socialists are winning right now, but they are not. They're not winning. Harken back to what I said at the beginning of the program. With every intellectually immature decision that Administrator Biden and his puppet masters put forth, the ravaging of jobs, the ravaging and taking away of our rights and benefits, American values, putting America at risk, with everything they do, they're actually drawing more people away from their cause than they're drawing to their cause. Even people who imagine themselves as hardcore, born and bred, cradle Democrats, which of course doesn't exist anymore, are turning away from administration. It's only taken a month. 120,000 jobs lost, not just from Keystone, but other jobs. 120,000 jobs lost. The economy in ruins. Just a month. And so what they're doing through their own intellectual immaturity is driving people away, not drawing people to their cause. Give yourselves permission to believe that. It's the truth. And also remember, God won't abandon us. God doesn't abandon things that he starts. We may be going through a trial, all right? But we who are now awake and joining with those who are in the process of waking up, we're going to rise through this with determined patriotism and with determined prayer. Let's not forget about that. We're going to engage in the hard work that it's going to take to reverse everything that Administrator Biden is doing. We're going to eliminate the tide of communism. And there is hope in all of this if we give ourselves permission to do the hard work and have patience, to realize that there's no quick fix. To have the intellectual maturity to say, all right, this is going to take some time, going to roll up our sleeves, and we're going to do this. And remember that pack of blessings that is on your back. I try to remind us each show, because you do have a pack of blessings on your back, and you should take inventory of them every day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue to have each other's back. Let's continue to pray for each other. Pray for I will have your back if you have mine. And thank you for watching, listening, wherever you are. Please share the program. Stop by our GoFundMe page and become a sponsor. And also, just share the message with people. I think that the conservative movement, the leadership in the conservative movement in the United States, there's a vacuum of leadership. There really is no true leader out there, someone that can rally the troops, so to speak. We need to unite around the message here and put it forth. And as I always say, people who come on this program to give opinions and thoughts will do just that, and I provide a non-censored avenue for that. You, in this audience, you are the ones who are intellectually mature. You are the ones who are awake and waking up and get it. You can gather information from multiple sources and make up your own minds about what you believe, and I trust that you will do that. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless America. God bless the world and all of you around in the world. Let's pray for each other. And we'll meet again right here on the right side. Cheers.